In an interesting new development, the Central Bank of Nigeria has imposed free cash withdrawal limits on individuals and organizations which take effect from the 9th of January 2023. According to a new memo to banks issued on Tuesday and signed by the Director of Banking Supervision, Haruna B, Mustafa, individuals will only be able to withdraw 100,000 naira per week from over-the-counter point-of-sale machines or automated teller machines, ATMs as they are called, while organizations can access only 500,000 naira per week.
Banks have also been directed to load only 200 naira and lower denominations into their ATM. The CBN also added that in compelling circumstances, not exceeding once a month, where cash withdrawals above the prescribed limits would be required for legitimate purposes, such cash withdrawals shall not exceed 5 million naira and 10 million naira for individuals and corporate organizations respectively, and shall be subjected to the referenced processing fees. Joining us this morning to talk more about this is Mukhtar Muhammed to shed more light. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning.
So I think the first question should be, what is going on? We saw the announcement for the redesign of the Naira in September, and we've been given a deadline, and in this December we're expecting to see the new Naira notes officially being in circulation. And now the CBN says that we cannot withdraw more than 100,000 Naira individually, 500,000 Naira corporately. So what does this mean? Why is this happening?
Well, you need to, that question should have been directed to the CBN, but I'll make my own analysis on base what I think is happening. I think for now, what we are seeing a CBN that is trying to force everybody to be cashless. We are seeing a CBN that is trying to go into security because they realize that every policy that they do without security will not see the light of the day, since it seems like the physical side seems not to be in existence. So I definitely see that what the CBN is doing, because when you look at this policy, it's not just all about because of the transfer. Remember that CBN in this policy have not said anything about if you are going to pay money inside back into your account. They're only saying about withdrawal. So definitely, I think it's a policy that has been there, but maybe they have reduced it, because up till now, as an individual, you cannot withdraw more than 500,000. If you do that, you're going to pay a fine. So there's nothing new what the CBN is doing. It's just that they are reducing the limits in terms both for individual and corporate. I think that's exactly what they are doing now. It's not that they're doing anything different, that have just reduced the limit to 100, because they want more Nigerians to be involved in cashless, being cashless going forward, and also. But it comes with its challenges. But I expect the CBN must have looked at these challenges and know if banks will be able to handle most of these challenges. And I think it's a month from now, but it looks a very short time for banks to begin to build that infrastructure, because if you ask customers their experience with bank when it comes to even fill in payments, it has been horrible, because they have to wait for 7 working days before they get their money back. So if you're talking to somebody that just have 20,000 and he's just about to do a transaction, and then his money is stuck and has to wait for 7 days, I think the CBN on the spot should do itself, talk to the banks to know whether the banks are ready. But as I sit here, I don't think the banks are ready.
Besides the banks, are Nigerian businesses ready? And of course, small and medium-scale businesses across the country. I'm sure you're aware that there's a lot of businesses, there's still a lot of people who barely do online transactions. Not every Nigerian, of course, has a bank account also. So how will these businesses cope? And is the CBN also aware of how it will affect these ones?
Naturally, they are aware. And the CBN have told most of all these small business to have POS. They also have told them payment should be done through e-Naira. They also have banking app that the CBN have been advocating for small business to be get themselves involved in it. But like I said, it comes with its own challenge. You can do a transaction, you say you transfer, and the receiver is saying, look, I've not received it yet, it has not dropped into my account. And sometimes it could even be very worse for the market women. They will say, look, I've not received the alert. They don't even want to go to the bank or check. How many of them have a phone that is app compliant to be able to check through the CBN app? So, or the banking app. So I totally agree with whether business are prepared for it. I think most business, especially the small business, will not be prepared for it. And but it's not going to be so much of the business challenge. It will be more also of the customers' challenges, because with the business, they've not told them they have a limit to how much they can deposit in the bank, but you have a limit to how much you can withdraw. And so the challenge will mostly goes to the customers, even as well as the business, because most of the business people, again, somebody that is trading on vegetable or small household item that have to go to the market in the rural area, and how do you want him to do this transaction that is above 20,000? Because now you are now saying POS terminals cannot do more than 20,000, and we know the villagers are the ones that patronize the POS terminals very well,
The
because
farmers,
the bank close to them.
Mr. Muhammad, I think you can just throw in the farmers also, because you know how much these businesses rely on cash. They travel to these markets in very rural areas in Nigeria, in these farm locations, and they pay cash for tomato, perishable items.
Exactly. And even if you want to go further, a bag of rice now is about 50,000. So you are telling me, if I make a withdrawal of just 100,000, by the time I buy a bag of rice of 50,000, what remains of me? I think the CBN will have to look at their policy again. I didn't see anything wrong with what they had before previously, of a 500,000 and also 5 million for corporate organizations, sometimes 1 million, depending. I don't see anything wrong. I think they're trying to do this to cope a lot of things, maybe security, like I said, maybe kidnappers demand mostly cash. So there will be a red flag when you want to ask for so much cash. But again, that could also endanger a lot of life, because sometimes if the experience you've heard from people that have been kidnapped is that the security agents sometimes encourage them to do the payment so that they can have their relative release. So a lot of things we need to look at. And then you need to look at money laundering also. In other developed countries, money laundering doesn't strike because of the electronic system of payment. And when it does, it will be traced. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, people move along with cash as high as almost hundreds of millions being stocked in their house. And what the CBN is trying to do, again, the Bureau de Change also are one of those sectors that move cash very well. And also, so this policy also could also be an advantage for the depreciation stage of the Naira also, because what we are going to see is that when you want to do an exchange that is above 50,000, above 100,000, then you need to go to the bank to do that transaction. And a lot of the funds that are pursuing most of these the dollars are not resided in the banking space. Then secondly, again, that will also reduce in terms of reprinting, because what the CBN also is trying to reduce costs in terms of reprinting, because a lot of Nigerians have complained about, you are printing, you're redesigning, how much are you spending for printing and other. So this also could help also bring down costs in that area. So it's going to be a win-win situation in the long run for everybody. But in the short term, we need to build those infrastructures so that we have a seamless payment system whereby I don't have to wait so long when I have a fail in my payment system.
All right, now let's talk about the limits, the daily limit, or rather the ATM limit that says, they shouldn't put in more than 200 naira in the ATM. Do you maybe have any suggestions or any speculations as to why this was put in place?
I think also it's beer than trying to encourage a lot of people to use your internet banking or cashless, because for me, I don't see any reason why you should limit how much somebody should withdraw in the ATM, because you have put a minimum cap of about 150,000 naira a week. Now you have reduced it to 100,000, and you say that I have to be doing that I have to only be entitled to withdraw 20,000 in a day. So if I need to withdraw 100,000, I need to come to the ATM for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, or Saturdays and Sunday. I have to make that withdrawal in 5 days. And also, I have to deal with lower denomination, which security-wise is not good. So somebody knows that I'm holding money in my hand. So I don't think, I think the CBN should still look at this policy, especially because when you look at the ATM, the whole idea of the ATM is also in means towards doing financial inclusion. The whole idea of the POS is also about financial inclusion. So if you are beginning to do this, then you are going to actually take these people out of business in the long run. And the ATM machines also have served as a means of payment, whereby people will go there and do their transaction through the ATM to transfer cash. So I think they need to look at that. I don't think what they did before is anything wrong about 150,000 per withdrawal. So what it means now, that means the ATM need to be redesigned. So definitely there's a lot of issue that the CBN need to look at to bring us to explain to Nigerians why they are doing this, because it's going to cause a lot of disruption in, especially like you said, in the smaller businesses, especially the market women.
Just also mention the ATMs. The new law also says that ATMs wouldn't have the new 1,000 or 500 naira bills. I think just 200 naira bills that the ATMs are allowed to give. I also want to quickly ask, for those who are speculating that this might be with regards to the elections, and vote buying for the 2023 elections, is there any sense in that? Quickly.
There's a lot of sense in that. I think if that is what the presidency or this administration is trying to work in terms with CBN, I think is good, because again, vote buying has been an issue in this country thus far. So if we are going to do that, then I think it's okay. It might reduce vote buying, but politicians will always re-strategize to to get their desired result. But I think politically also, you could also look at it politically. Remember, even the redesignation of the currency also have been a political move also. And now we are here again, another political move, because it's a political season. So you expect every move to be political. But in the long run, I think the move is more economic than political.
All right, Mukhtar Muhammed, always a pleasure speaking with you and getting a clearer picture of some of these things. We'll look forward to getting you in again.
Thank you.
Have a good day.